What is going on YouTube? This is Judarian playing a new game today. Just came out on Steam probably about 2 or 3 days ago. I kind of saw it looking through the mall and I was like, hey, another drift game. So decided to pick it up, see what it's all about. I was hoping to get a little bit further into the game before actually getting to the actual, just so that you all could see what the further content was like. I haven't really got there yet. It is a lot of upgrading in the process. This game is classified, I think, on the store page as an MMO. I don't see how that benefits the community because I haven't seen anything MMO about it, and I'm kind of going to show you kind of the pros and cons of the games today. So, if anybody ever played Drift Streets was a pretty good game. It was a solid price. You earned points, but there was ways to get around it. You could go to a test track, make it flat, and just slide all day long to get your points, buy your car upgrades. This game's not like that. So, um, let's go to the cars here. I'm driving one of these. I'm not exactly what kind of model car this is. I guess it's more like a Volkswagen old model or something. Uh, Pretty good horsepower. I went ahead and set everything up. This car is almost maxed. That's all I've really got to do in the game is max this car. And decaling wise, I'd say it's up there on par with like the Need for Speed game. You can move all your stuff around, and the beautiful thing about this game, guys, is they made a mirror option. So, say I take a tribal piece and I move it down the left side. I can hit mirror and it'll put it exactly on the other side. So instead of sitting there spending time doing decals that match on this side, and then have to go over here and invert and flip and everything, it actually does that for you. There is a mirror option. So, props to them. They did a wonderful job with that. All right, let me go over here to the garage. So, let's go to the store. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't want to do that. Okay, so, free plays. Let's go to store. Now, a lot of these options are not available yet. This is set up as, I guess it's really early access, but for some reason it was on new releases. Um, but you can't go buy tuners from from other players yet because this option's in development now. Quick sales, no, does not work. Well, I guess if you had, well, actually, it wouldn't work. So, car store. So you got your MRK2 1995 model. Now, I did play an event that used this car, and it was a maxed out version, and this car was beautiful, had great stability. And the only reason I would ever get this car is to move over here. Well, there we go. Would be to get the A86. Everyone loves it. It's been in like every single drift game. I guess it's like a Toyota Corolla. It's just a really good car for any type of drift. We have the stronger 2015 GTRs. Got your GTR 2014 model. Pretty nice. I haven't actually looked at some of these. That's nice. 1988 model. See, like some of these cars here, they have not been put in yet. Visual car models are in development. So the car that I'm currently driving is the V2101 1970. I guess that is a Volkswagen. So once I get enough E points, I'm going to be moving up to the KGB. I really like the style. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like an old Chevy, or kind of got that Lincoln Continental look. I mean, it's got a little bit of that style to it. I like big cars. My first car, growing up was a Cadillac. I was like, hell yeah. So, let's move on. This game does have a credit system. When you buy the game, you can purchase more credits. So far, I haven't had to buy any more credits from the base game. I've just kind of upgraded what I had and purchased the things that I needed. I've got a 12 out of 52 achievements. I don't think team is. Yep, team is in development. And let me go ahead and show you all the styling options. So some of these are still in under development. So let's say you want to paint your vehicle. You have all these other options. You have rear rims, front rims. You could paint either which one. So I could go with silver and then purple, things like that. Um, really digging the mirror chrome. I like the darker look that it has. Vinyls. This is the part I was telling you about. You go to your layers, you place it on there, boom, you're good to go. And since I'm already here, I guess I'll go ahead and kind of show you all what that is about. So let's find a piece to kind of go on the back here. I need something kind of level. I mean, the fact that you can skew some of these things to make them look really cool, I like. So since I could do something similar to this, ooh, that would actually look good on the back. Skew it out a little bit. Let's look at that. So I want to. Now, if this isn't like move your analog stick kind of thing, it does take a little bit getting used to. So you would use your position modifiers. Let me go ahead and turn that up because we need to be able to see that. Now, I think some of these cars do have some issues with where you can put some of your things. So, oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Alright, so I've got that set up. We're gonna we're gonna scale that down a little bit. Let's stretch it out. Rotate. Let's make this a little bit brighter. Now here's the cool part. Go down here. I can tell it to reflect layer. Yes. Look at that. Look how nice that turned out. Like you can make your own designs this way. So you can take like a piece of tribal, and tribal's my favorite. I'm tattooed in tribal myself. So I could take a piece of tribal, mirror it, and give it that cool like cross effect. So that turned out beautiful. I'm actually really impressed with that. And it didn't take much work to even do that. So I got that down. Yeah, it is a little bit expensive, to put pieces on. But once you get all your layers down and stuff, you don't have to pay that total price. Drinking a little coffee here. Okay, design from players. It's not available yet. I'm really interested in seeing some of the designs like Need for Speed had. They had anime, Tokyo stuff. Everything was really cool with that. Rear wheels. You got your front wheels. And you got some choices. I don't like the fact that there is some that you have to purchase with credits. I think that was kind of a money gimmick. It kind of throws me out there that hey, there is going to be some content you have to actually buy. Which you got some decent styles. So we got rear wheels here. They were kind of the same. Spoilers. I picked a spoiler I liked already. Objects. I could turn my car into a police car, hot dog mobile, taxi, energy drink, and a shark. Sorry for the loud noises. We have company over today. Alright, so along with styling, bonus cards and tunings, we have your tire pressure. Now, so far, every time I've upgraded my car, these are very critical that you have to tweak. I mean, I'm running medium for the back end. I was running hard when I started off because my horsepower was low, and I needed that extra, that hard tire because it slips. The softer tire, you put your pressure in and everything. And I want my front end to grip more so I have more control of the car during the drift. You have your weight distribution. I did have this more towards the front to kind of hold down a little bit better, especially for turning. It was causing some instability issues, so I went ahead and turned it back down to almost default. Transmission wise, now I tweaked this myself. You can actually go ahead and change all your gearbox stuff. I like this idea because my vehicle is a first, second, and third car. It does not really hardly go into fourth unless I'm on a big straight patch, and if it can get there, more power to it. Um, I will never see fourth, fifth. I'll really never see fifth and sixth gear. There's no need for it. Suspension, I keep mine kind of almost maxed out for the stiffness. Steering wheel, I leave that kind of alone. It kind of bothers me to mess with some of those. Now camber, I've got 817 horsepower, so I did have to tweak my camber. The more negative effects that you have on your camber means the more grip that you are going to receive. So as you get your horsepower, you're going to want to up this into the negative. So you want to pull it to the left. You want to get your front tires always a little bit more grip than your rear. And for toe wise, I had to look it up because I'm not a car specialist myself. So the toe is like the angle that like your frame or right there where your camber is angles. So you can make them kind of cross. And mine really doesn't make too much sense right now, but I'm trying to get it to cross at a weird angle. Maybe that'll work out. It kind of crosses into an X on a diagram. You can't see it, but from what I've looked up on Wikipedia, things like that, that's how that one pretty much works. It just means that better stability and stuff around some of the corners with when you have a better toe angle, it'll handle better. Acceleration, you got quite a few controller options, dead zones, front rear brake, things like that. I really like that. Now I actually have not messed with the rear brake, and I think they may have just added this because I did not see this earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that for the 71%. 3070 sounds good. Spoiler, you have your downforce. That sounds like a pretty good option. I haven't really messed with it. Um, I don't think you would want the extra weight pushing down on the back. I mean, I don't think it would create that much more stability. Kind of want your back end loose anyway. And your differential lock. On acceleration, yes. Deceleration, no. I'm kind of thinking that wouldn't be a very good idea because your differential means that it's keeping your. I'm thinking if one tire slips, it lets it slip a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that default. Tunings have been applied, so I guess I can go ahead and hop on in. Now, this is one of the major letdowns about this game, and this is why I didn't understand why they called it a multiplayer MMO game. I mean, you have the trees, you have everything else, but when it comes to actual players, the only way that you'll get to race against other players is by searching custom competitions. All your quick competitions, global championships, events, those three right there are literally just the ghosts of another player. So there's going to be like 5 players total. They're going to be racing around, messing around in it. It's not going to show. And sometimes I've noticed a little bit of I don't know if it's cheating or what, but it'll say that I'm number one on the list. I'll finish the match. It drops me down to the lowest, or second or third, and it doesn't make sense to me. But I'm gonna further look into that. Search custom competitions. There is one. I have never been able to join one. I'm gonna go ahead and see if it'll let me. Never been into an actual real player match. But you earn your credits and stuff by going to all your competitions. I don't think there would be any money involved in this one. So I guess it doesn't work. I've already hit the button. So the way that this works is you pick a map that you like. You got your drift park, which I like pretty well. You can go. I like staying in the same league. Let's go to America. Some of the Europe stuff's pretty good. So it'll say connection to the server down there on the bottom. It has to think about it. All data has been downloaded. So what it does is it's actually looking for the ghosts of other players and finds ones that are in your competition range, and it puts them in the match with you. So the way this works is you have cones. As long as you're around that cone, you can even hit the cone. But you have to be drifting in the process. So the purple cones are ones that you have to have your back end facing out towards, or else it's not going to pick up. The red cones are for your front end. Let me see if I can even. And the thing does go by pretty quick, so you have to watch out for that. Your combo chain right there, it goes really quick. I have made a few tweaks since last time I played, so it's going to take me a little while to get used to the handling. Ooh, that lost control. Oh, getting too close there. Like I said, I love this car, just the way that it can handle on some of these turns, especially when you have it tweaked correctly. And like I said, I have literally spent probably a few hours just tweaking this myself. There's a lot to play with here, guys. And 817 horsepower and you can't go over third gear, that's where it's at. You don't need to go any faster than that. So I got times 15. I am already up to 19,000. And I am using an Xbox 360 controller. Somebody said, I think in the forums, that this was wheel compatible, or will soon be wheel compatible. I can't remember exactly. But as for physics in this game, like, it's up there. It's on par with a lot of games. I tried the Need for Speed game because I heard it was more about drifting, but when I got into it, the drifting was really, really wonky. And I didn't like the fact that it seemed like the server would skip me like a foot from the location that I was currently started my drifting point at. It was almost like my car hopped. So I kind of got frustrated with it. I did almost complete the game. I do need to go back and actually play it sometime. The other games that are in comparison, I know there was just another drift game. I'll have to look it up on my Steam's list. That is if I haven't removed it. But I put money into it. I mean, and I really liked it. But there was no way to get everything that you needed in the game itself. you would have to literally keep pumping money, and pumping money because you had to pay for your garage slots, you had to pay for your inventory, you had to pay for things to be shipped, you had to pay for your car upgrades, and then some upgrades you could cheat on by go ahead and spending a little bit of money to rush it. This game doesn't seem to have that. I mean, it does have a few little money gimmicks, but it's nothing that big. So I've only got about 47 seconds left on this one. I'm still in the lead. So even though it's the ghosts of another player that you're actually racing against, it's not that bad. I mean, these are people who just, I guess, recently did the challenge. Now, I do notice a little bit of few of the physics glitches whenever it comes down to some of the maps that actually have hills and dips in them. Because when you're sliding, it throws your momentum off. And it can change the way that your whole car performs. And going up to third gear is a happy medium for me, because that's like being able to perform at low RPMs, being able to have the power to slide. It works well for tracks that are like dippy, you're gonna have a sharp curve right after, and you can keep those tires sitting there spinning. So I did actually make first that time. And if I do another race or so, I should be able to go ahead and buy me an upgrade. So I really like the way that my car is tuned at the moment. Let's go ahead and look at another map. So drift ring is the kind of the one I was telling you about. It has the little bit of a dip, and it can really throw your car off. And to me, I don't really care for the ones with the dips, because you want your car to perform decently on all levels, but I think it's more of a physics problem than it is actually like a car problem. So I found myself resetting my stats and stuff. Well, not stats, but changing all my tuning options just to get in to try to perform well on this map. And it didn't work out, because when I go back to Flatland, I was spinning out and all that stuff. I think once you tune your car on a flat track, I think that's where you need to keep it. I did do a lot of tweaking to my gear ratios. Because, I mean, I don't drive a stick shift. If I was going to drive a stick shift, I'd have to have a steering wheel. And my steering wheel is currently broken. By going over that dip over there, I just lost control. Like right there, it threw me out. Like I didn't even get a chance. Like just that little dip right there caused my car to sling way too far out. And this part right here, I've noticed one of the biggest issues is this turn right here. It will spin your car around when you're going back the other way. So it'll turn you around about automatically. Oh, I couldn't hold it. there's my times 7 bonuses. You have to be almost like right up on the orange cones and the purple cones just to get them to activate. So it does put you up to a challenge. I mean, you're constantly going to be trying to get those points. Also, the green field will reset your drift points if you get a little further out. You are allowed to ride on kind of the rim, and they give you a chance to recover. But there is a certain zone in it that just it will not. It'll literally just take away your points, or you'll hit a bump. I'm not doing too good in this drift. Like I said, I have a hard time on this track. This is probably like one of the hardest tracks I have found to play so far. Like, I am trying to let off the gas a little bit right there in order to regain stability, and I'll keep sliding. Go. I finally got me another cone. I mean, I'm just so afraid to get out there to some of the other areas to actually hit the cones on this map, and it just throws you, so... Eh, 18,000, I'm happy with that. I mean, that's pretty good for a map that is that hard. See, I think it said I was second place right there, and it threw me into third. So let's go see what the tree brings. Oop, not tuning. Upgrades. A few more thousand I can get in a suspension upgrade, or I can keep saving to get weight reduction kits. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff installed on this car, and I put a little bit of time into this game already. Like there at the beginning, I wasn't having any money problems, so I went ahead and bought the bonus card E, and that allowed me to get 100% E for every single match because I was having a hard time getting the experience. But the bonus cards for the money, I thought, oh, okay, I'm making like 15, 20,000 per race. I don't need it. Now I'm starting to look back on that and be like, maybe I did need that. Let's do one more here. Kind of show y'all a global championship. It's usually set on one map, and I think, oh no, this is actually different. I mean, some of these people are absolutely ridiculous. Like, you'll think you're coming out on top, next thing you know, boom, they're like at least 40,000 ahead of you. Oh, I thought that might have been just like a normal little foliage tree. Try to keep that up. I actually don't remember if I played this map. It seems like it's a lot. It looks like the same map that I played before, during an event, but it didn't have this much fun. Oh, good. I was able to keep the points. I thought I was going to lose it there. And the only reason I don't have my gears changing so quick is because the changing of the gears can throw off your balance to your back. So it makes for a smoother drift usually to have it spaced out. I thought I was going to be able to make that turn. Made a little bit too wide of a turn there. Same on that one. I guess that right there could be a cheap way once you get your car tuned up to gain points, though. And someone said that they had noticed that some of the ghosts of the people would do like a normal, like just roundabout circle the entire match to get their points. I prefer to drive around though. Plus you can't get multipliers, so I mean, yeah, it's a good way to start off. It's just driving normal circles, and then move up to actually like getting used to how your car hangs. But until you get your car fully upgraded, you're not gonna know, you know, how far that car's gonna hang. I'm afraid to get too close to that wall, especially with this amount of points picked up. I'd never seen that blue bar. That was pretty neat. If I can do this for 40 more seconds, it should be a pretty nice score I've got built up. And I may lose it right here. Oh no. And the beat goes on. I just didn't want to wreck it, guys. That's why that was where I had to slide it. But I am up there with the crowd this time. So some people did say that this game did come out off a website first before it was released. Um, I think that with it merging to Steam and it's still early access, some people said that they didn't even have cones back on the website version, and the cones was a new way to introduce a new system so that people wouldn't cheat. I mean, but there's still some ridiculous scores. Like, you all saw me drifting, holding it, everything else. I still only got 42,000. But you're looking at some of these other players like Dr. Montero here. He's got 179,000 points. I would love to see a video of him actually doing that because so far some of these points do seem outrageous. I don't know how events are going to work because of this issue. I've never seen any like other ghosts from the other ones like score like that high besides the events. And you only have 5 minutes, and I held a drip for a pretty good amount of time. I had a lot of the bonuses. Um, like I said, I only got 42,000 points. You're talking like tripling to quadrupling my score just to get that, just to the next step up. I mean, I only made 60 out of the current stage results. So we have a profile. You can select your icons. It's not that big of a deal. You change your name whenever you want to. But as for a game, I would say this game is pretty much worth buying. Um, as for now, I mean, I don't think the developer's going to abandon it. I mean, there seems to be a lot of people playing. I mean, well, of Ghost and everything like that, but you do have your other modes too. I may just be a router issue on my end why I can't connect. There's probably some ports. There's not many discussions in the forums quite yet. I think they have a larger community probably on their website than they do on the Steam. Hopefully everything will turn out pretty good. Um, you know, Peak here did a really good job with the physics, the engines. I do wish they would make distinctive engine sounds. Maybe later on, adding a engine swap. Um, I would say ride height, but I've seen a lot of issues with the models of cars because you end up with like it going right through the frame, and I don't like that. And Drift Streets made that where you could up, lower, and raise your car, and you could go across the wrong kind of bump, and it would literally send your car flying, or it would break your combo. But there seems to be a lot of more drifting games coming out lately, and I just been trying to go around and kind of play each one. I'm a big fan of like just any type of like racing game. I grew up on Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit back when like Windows not oh like around 1998. Before that, played a lot of the other types of old games, Test Drive, like the originals. But as for a game, I'd say pick it up. It's really fun. I've enjoyed it so far. I keep finding myself going back to it, playing it just a little bit more and more. But this is Judarian. I'll talk to y'all later.